We are officially live. So hello everyone. Welcome back to Factorio. We are going to unpause, and today I believe we are working on getting tier 3 belts and everything set up. So we need to automate those. And I don't remember I don't remember if we were in the middle of anything last time. I'm not standing especially close to any factories, so probably not. Alright, so we need plates, gears, and lubricant. And lubricant is just heavy oil. Alright, should be easy enough. So we're going to have to start with, let's see, I guess we can just bring in crude oil and then, well, let's see, that would also produce light oil spare, which is not ideal. Alright, we really need to do something about these biters. Where are you? You're attacking from that nest. That's like really far away. I think we just have to. I think we're gonna leave that for now. So, back onto the, what's it called? Heavy oil production. Alright. Yeah, this is apparently. Oh, I see. That's not good. So the drones are gonna try to take this shortcut here and then fly directly over a biter's nest and die. Although that one made it through. Alright, I think we do actually have to go clear out some biters then. It's a little bit annoying because I'd rather be immediately starting off by being productive and moving forwards, but the biters never end. Did I ever, I know at some point there is the potential to unlock, artillery or something. But I don't think I have done so yet. That's fine. We'll just head down with the good old-fashioned lasers and maybe a tank. Alright, so down we go. And we have quite the long journey ahead of us. Makes me wish I had, designed this with perfectly clear paths in mind so that I could just drive a car down or something and that would be faster. But we didn't, so here we are. Alright, down we go. And let's make as much of a path as I reasonably can. I'm not going to have the concrete to go anywhere close to all the way, but I can at least get down to there. Oh, and I've already built part of a path. So that's convenient. And then we just need to clear out, this whole section. And then probably also head down to get rid of some of the ones all the way down there. So, we grab some power poles, we don't get hit by a train. Alright, so we just have to bring the power lines out this way. Cyan, hello. We've just started the stream and we are dealing with some biters. So we get in big electrical pole there to provide extra reach. And then, let's see, that should be close enough. Just put them in there. Yeah, there we go. And it's able to get built nice and quick. And then they all get destroyed. Alright. This last one needs to go as well. Just barely out of reach of the turrets. There we go. Alright, so that is that nest dealt with. Now we dismantle all of that and head south to get rid of another one. Alright, I don't know why I'm having the drones place those when I can just do it myself. Right, there are a couple just random biters sitting in the middle of the woods there. Alright, so now we set this up again. Big electrical pole. And a turret box. There we go. And once again, it goes a little bit out of reach. This time there are 2 nests out there, so let's just drag that up. And put those in. Alright. So another nest dealt with. Nice and simple. So now we just have to take all of this out. And where next? Now I think we should head around and deal with these ones over here. So let's head back to this copper mine and then south around the lake. So if we can just get to this path, it'll be a lot quicker. There we go. Oh, we finished productivity module research. That's neat. Inserter capacity bonus? Sure. That'll only be helpful to have. Alright, so now we're over here. And we head a bit further west. And there's some biters over here for us to deal with. Alright, so then that goes in. And okay, we accidentally triggered them early. So let's retreat to the walls and have them dealt with that way. And boy, they are not having a good time getting through the trees. Alright, so then we can just put those in. And get rid of all that. Now we have all of these worms to deal with. Which I guess is going to be worth... just so that they don't kill like random things that try to go above. Alright, so now we can take these turret boxes down. And also make sure to get these power poles. Which apparently is taking some time. Okay, and the Mark III modules are not requiring anything special that the Mark II modules didn't use, so that's nice. Alright, well, we probably should head out to get rid of those because they're just about within range. So let's grab a power pole and bring it down this way. Alright, there we go. And turret box goes in. So that should be that dealt with, although the range isn't apparently enough to reach most of the nests, so we're going to have to advance a little bit and plop down another one. There we go. Another one of those gone. And now we can just reclaim all the building components. Alright. Now we have to deal with these two, and potentially some of those as well. Just trying to clear out this area of biters so that we don't have to deal with being all the way down here for a while. Because it takes ages to get down here. So while I'm here, I want to sort of do as much as I can. Also, do I have a radar? Can I just pop one of those down here? We're sort of near the edge of the map. I could have sworn I had radars in my inventory. Let's see, where are those? Yeah, okay, I do. I just can't see them because I'm blind. Good to know. So that can go in and reveal some more space. Then we have these biters, which seem to be building up for an attack. So let's see if we can... Alright, we've triggered the attack preemptively. So this is going to be hitting the walls. And let's just help out a little bit. Alright, I need to not be standing in that exact spot. So then we put down one of those so that we can place the turret box further away. And how about there? So that should be good to deal with all of them. Except apparently not. Apparently it is being outranged by some of those biters, so we're going to have to put another one in. Alright. Another nest dealt with. When you're zoomed out like this, they are quite close to the walls, so it's probably for the best that I dealt with them before things got too crazy. Alright. I want to craft a couple more of those because we need them, and it would be really bad if we ran out. So now let's head down here, and then pop one of those in, and a turret box. So there we go. Let's deal with all of those. There's just a massive cluster of worms there for some reason. And it looks like we're going to have to push even further forwards in order to deal with them. And then there's another nest right there as well, which we'll have to deal with. So then this can go... Can't tell how far we can move them while still being connected. Looks like it's about that far, so let's place that in. And deal with these guys. Alright, and then one more apparently, because somehow my turrets have awful range. I guess I'm just really far zoomed out, so it looks like the range is bad, but it's actually pretty far. Alright, so now we just take all this stuff apart. And then go back and take these all apart. It actually looks like my personal inventory might be out of repair packs. Where would those be? In here? Yeah. So I am out of repair packs, which means that future progress is going to be a little bit dicey. It looks like those guys over there are attacking. So we're gonna just take out another nest or two. That one down south is probably far enough away, but this one is definitely not. And actually, I set up a radar tower in here just so that we have it. Right, I guess some drone somewhere else has been assigned to that. That's fine. Alright, so now we can just pop a turret box in down there. And yeah, it looks like we mostly have damaged turrets left, which is not ideal. Alright, so we can put that in there. Should deal with most of them at least. There we go. Alright, let's just do this last bit manually, because the turret supply is not great. It's just a couple of nests with no real support. They're just barely out of range, which is annoying. There we go. Alright, another one of those dealt with. Now we dismantle and move on. Alright, so we have a couple sort of along this eastern side which we have to deal with. But I think we should head back up and call it a day. We don't really have enough repair packs to be able to necessarily fight if things go bad. So we're just gonna head back up, and we've cleared out that area a ton, so it should be massively improved. Now we can head back up and receive our resupplies. I wonder if you can use repair packs on items in your inventory. Probably not. Alright, so we head back up. And there's another resupply. And now we can take the rest of this path. So up we go. And back to what we were doing, which was getting a setup for, what's it called? For tier 3 belts. Which shouldn't be too hard, and it should also fix that problem where we don't have anywhere for gears to go. I'm gonna have to stand here and get resupplied for a bit, though. Mostly short on constructor bots, and that's the only thing that's important. Alright, so we can just keep on moving. I really wish the drones would be faster so that they could catch up to you while you're running, so you wouldn't have to stop and wait for them every so often. And gosh, there are a lot of drones doing various things. Our storage chests are mostly empty. Where did all these raw fish come from? I didn't even know raw fish was a thing in this game. Yeah, there sure is a lot of junk, but we still have plenty of space, so I don't have to worry about slapping down a couple more of those. Just yet, anyway. I really need to figure out how to, like, automatically get those to drain back into useful places again, but for now it's not really an issue. Alright, so back to this. So we need lubricant, which is made from heavy oil. And heavy oil is obviously made through this recipe, but it also makes light oil and petroleum gas, which is a bit of an issue because I do not have... I don't know what exactly to do with the spare. Like, I don't think you can recycle it up into something. You probably don't need that much lubricant. Actually, you probably need a fair amount, right? So this is 1 lubricant for heavy oil, so it's pretty good. And then this requires 20 lubricant each. And it's half a second, so it's going to require like 40 lubricant. Alright, so we are actually going to need a fair amount in order to keep up with that. Alright, well let's see here. Then what we need to do is just make a dedicated production stop for lubricant, I guess. Just put it on a train and then be good to go. Alright, so we head over this way. And we are sort of creeping towards these biters over here as well. That's probably fine. It's probably fine. So we're going to get a train square down. And place that in. There we go. So that all is going. And then we just need to wait for the rest of this to get dealt with. So there we go. Personal drone port can help a lot with this. Can't quite do everything, but that's what the backup drones are for. Alright, and then we're going to have to deal with some of these biter nests as well. Did I ever get resupplied on repair packs? I did. Alright, that's good. So then this can just come out to there. And put a big electrical pole there. Oh, I just realized I used drones for that, which is going to be an issue while we're building. Alright, so build. This could go horribly wrong if the turret box pieces get set to some random drones, but as long as my personal inventory does them, it should be fine. There we go. That's another biter nest being dealt with. There's quite a big copper patch there, which isn't the worst thing in the world. So let's just push that forwards a little bit to get rid of the last couple. Alright, and then I need to not stand on the giant pool of acid, because that actually got me down to half health somehow, even through all of my shielding and everything. But that is the imminent biter nest dealt with. And then there's going to be another one just a little bit north that we're going to need to deal with as well. So let's head up here. Yeah, we're going to have to deal with these, probably both of these. Alright, so this goes up. Oh, that's not good. we trigger them early. We do have walls back here. Connect those top couple lasers up so that they can shoot. Alright, so that's... was a little bit scary, but fine. Now we just go in here and plop that in. And gosh, those are just all the most damaged laser turrets ever. Alright, now we deal with this one. And of course, some biters are coming to investigate from the other nest. But it's pretty easily dealt with. Did I use all of the repair packs again? Yes, apparently I did. We did finish that research, so we can start getting artillery, I guess. It's going to take ages to do. 16 entities are missing repair packs. Yeah, they sure are. That isn't... oh, it is a problem with logistics storage. Unless maybe I have to actually be within range. Yeah, so now that I'm within range, we have a good couple hundred of those in storage. And we're actually probably... we're probably far enough in this direction at this point that we're going to want another buffer chest. So this is going to be set to basic. So that should eventually resolve the issue. And we'll have plenty of drones nearby. Then... actually, the number of available logistic drones is not very high at the moment. Probably because they're all filling that buffer chest, though. Yep, they're all coming from all across the world to go up there. And I'm also getting my own refill, which is nice. There we go. Why am I getting a refill on train tracks? When did I use trains? Oh boy. That's not good. That is not good. That is a catastrophe. They've gotten into some sort of mining drill. Okay, we run over here. Yeah, what is that? They got into a furnace array somewhere? And now they're just chewing through the entire thing. How did that happen? How are they here? I thought... yeah, I mean, there's nothing... there are no nests here that could be doing this. Alright, they're... how did they get here? Did they come north from this? Because there's no nests, like, anywhere up there that could possibly be responsible, right? So it must be north from this. That's the only thing that makes sense. And then we're going to have to take ages to do that. Yeah, it's always a little annoying when they don't go directly towards the closest line of defenses and they get sneaky and creative. But we're also going to have to, I guess, just manually fix that and send it off. Also, is this not set to train limit 1? Yes, it is. Why is that guy also there then? Yeah, they can be quite sneaky sometimes. Alright, so now we're just gonna... Well, first of all, this part apparently got attacked and is also apparently outside of drone coverage. Let's see, it's apparently way outside of drone coverage. I didn't realize that this was this far away from everything. Alright, we can get coverage from the north, I guess. So let's get that in first so that we don't have to worry about this stuff getting eventually chipped through. And then we do have a drone port down there, so that should be fine. And then we wipe out even more biters. This is apparently... I thought this was the Tier 3 Belt Day. Apparently it is the Biter Extermination Day. Alright, so that goes in, and then farewell to all of these biters. They're actually doing a pretty good job fighting back for a while. There were a lot of them built up there. Alright, so let's just finish this off by just putting one in there, I guess. Just right smack in the middle of everything. Getting the range to hit these guys can be a bit of an issue sometimes. There we go. Are we out of... Yeah, we're out of repair packs again. I don't know what's been happening. We used to not have that problem. Like, and now the repair packs are just absolutely evaporating every time I use anything. Alright, and then just in case they try to get sneaky, let's just build a good solid wall there. Like this. So that'll be harder for them to do in the future. And we're going to have to run along afterwards to make sure that everything is connected up and everything. But, alright. And then if we... Actually, if we go like one more out, like that, and then we corner up, now we have this bit of water here, which we can just fill in and get... I don't need 3 of those, I just need a couple. Alright, so now we just need to hook that up to power. I don't know what's going on with those power poles up there. Alright, so is that entire thing connected? It is. Also, there's this power line running directly in front of it. I do not know what that's going to. But that area should no longer be a potential infiltration spot. Should be completely closed off there. And we're not really intending to expand in that direction, so it should be a good permanent setup. Alright, now back up to what we were doing. I guess we'll pick up these resupplies first because we are running low on a number of things. I don't know why I keep needing to get resupplied on train tracks. Like, I haven't placed train tracks in a while. You'd think that would have been finished by now. Apparently not. Alright, now back to what we were doing, which was setting up lubrication production. So we head on up, and Actually, wait, did I just ride on that belt? Yes. How? Okay, apparently my power grid is not good enough. So let's queue up another 10 of those and then somehow find some batteries to do this. How many squares? It is currently this. So it's... And then also there's this down here, which is like the old main bus style base, which I did not like. It's still doing a decent amount of work while we finish upgrading all of this stuff. But yeah, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 squares, and we're putting in a 16th. So if we were... Yeah, the biters are doing their thing. We just spent a lot of time wiping out a bunch of nests that I've been ignoring for a while. Yeah, thank you. I've been working pretty hard on this for a while, and it's coming pretty slowly because we keep getting interrupted by biters and other things. But progress is progress. So we head up here, and then over this way. Alright. So something is funky with the steel production again. We have one side that's emptied out and the other isn't being filled at all. Okay, so I think what we should do is... I don't know why this is happening, but we should be able to fix it pretty easily because of how this is coincidentally set up. So now this should work a lot better and use this bottom half. So let's just get that fixed as we run through. And I don't know why that happened exactly, but who knows. That's massive. Yeah, it's a lot of steel production. The thing is, I like filling up full trains, and I don't like having to sit and wait for ages for the full train to fill up. So we have a lot of production for certain things like this. Plus, you know, we have the space, so might as well. Alright, so now we're back here. And this was going to be lubricant. So we get heavy oil from advanced oil processing. And then we need to figure out what to do with the light oil and the petroleum gas. So I guess we could just turn it into solid fuel and then do something with that solid fuel. Don't know what. Is there any other options for recycling that stuff? Like, I can't turn... Yeah, exactly. It's just so that when I need lots of production, I have lots of production. Alright, so I could just do this, make solid fuel, and then... Yeah, the problem is I don't know what to do with the solid fuel. Like, I need a tiny amount of solid fuel, but I don't need all that much, and if I just put it into boxes somewhere, it'll eventually fill. I guess I could just burn it for no value, right? Because there are some things which... Actually, I don't know if you can. Let's see, what was it? Because the boiler I guess we could just boil it and get rid of it that way, but that doesn't seem super elegant. Might be what we have to do, though. Alright, so this train stop is crude oil input. And then we have to head over here. This train stop is water input. Water input. I've already made these, haven't I? Where are you? There you are. Water input. It's mainly to make rocket fuel. Yeah, that makes sense. I haven't gotten there yet. Alright, so then this will be the lubricant output. Is it just me, or is my menu doing something weird? Yeah, why is it doing that? Okay, well, we're just gonna set that. And then we have to actually put the trains in. So we go... Actually, is there a... I should just be able to... Can I just, like, blueprint a train? I don't know if that'll work. I don't think it's worked. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it. Oh well. Yeah, the problem is I'm trying to create specifically lubricant, which only uses heavy oil, and that means that because of the way I've done this in the past, it means that I don't have anything to do with the light oil and petroleum gas, so I just have to send it off to something that's not going to be a problem. Alright, so this can be set to that group, and then fluid train unloader, like that. And a refueler like that. Then we hook the whole thing up. Alright, so that, then just give you some fuel. And then we have to set up a water train as well. Oh, wait, I'm dumb. I put solid wagons on that. Yeah, the problem is I just need to produce it in a way that it doesn't back up and jam something, because that would be an issue. Alright, fluid train unloader. It goes there. And then the refueler goes there. And then you can get a little bit of solid fuel. So yeah, like it's not like I don't use any, but yeah. The thing that I need the lubricant for is mainly just the transport belts. Because I need some of these and some of those. Alright, one entity is missing the material for construction. Apparently I never automated pumps. Alright, but let's just craft up a big solid batch of those. And then we need... Let's see, are you... Yes, you are. Alright, so you need to we need to Oh, I closed the map accidentally. Alright, so we need... Where are they? Train fluid wagons. So we need to give you some of those. Yeah, I'm not planning on make the belts all blue, but must make a square just for pump automation? Probably not. What I do for those is I mostly just set up drone ports into assemblers, and then the assemblers output. It's just for the high quantity stuff like belts and things that need large quantities of items mostly, and weird stuff as well. Alright, so this is getting built. That's 2 of the drones in, and now we're just waiting for the other 2 before we can send this guy off again with the right settings. There we go. And back to automatic mode, where you're apparently just sitting there behind that guy. Alright, yeah, that's fine. Trains to carry the pumps around. Yeah, maybe. Maybe someday. Maybe someday, but probably not today. Alright. So now we have that fixed. We can go and start working on this. So first we need... Where are they? Crude oil gets made in oil refineries, and I don't have any stone bricks. Alright, well, that's annoying. Set that to 100 then. I thought I didn't need any of those. Apparently, I was wrong. And now we wait for the drones to show up. You've been playing with a recipe randomizer, so you might have to automate pumps. Yeah, that sounds interesting. That would be weird. Yeah, at that point you just have to automate literally everything because there's just no way of knowing. Sounds like a fun challenge though. Power is still totally fine. Just waiting on stone bricks. It says that there is 100 on the way. I don't see it. I do not see that. While we're looking at the map, trains look like they're all going fine. Automating everything. Yeah, but there's like automating things, and then there's like mass production of things. Like, it's one thing to have some drones going into an assembler and then the assembler going out into another drone port, and like that's your entire setup. But it's another thing to have like an entire square like this producing huge numbers of them. It's like a whole different scale of thing. Alright, so now we have that. We can make some oil refineries. Let's just make like 4, I guess. For now, just to see. Alright, so we have those. And there's some... I knew this like 5 seconds ago. There's some hotkey to copy-paste recipes. Is it shift? Yeah, okay, shift right and left click. Figured it out eventually. So we have those. Then we have chemical plants. Make a couple of those. I really should get around to automating more of these things as well. It's like such a mild nuisance having to deal with them all the time, but It's like one of those things where it takes like 5 seconds to craft a couple up when you need them. So it's kind of hard to justify. Alright, so then we go lubricant. Like so. Yeah, they're chewing through some laser turrets as usual. And then we need to get all the rest of this stuff out of here too. That's going to be the hard part. Okay, so I guess we can actually be a bit creative and just like have that go out that way. So this pipe goes up there. And then, okay, no, that's not going to work. So we could do that. And now if we can just figure out how to connect all of these up without messing with the other outputs, then that would be fine. Can these just go directly under the entire thing? They can. They can actually go pretty far. Alright, so you guys can do that. Just go over there and I'll deal with you later. And there we go. So now we have this whole space to connect all of the heavy oil up like that and send it into all of those. Alright, can we just shift this over slightly so that it's all aligned? Just so that it looks slightly better. Where did they go? So hard to find things sometimes. Alright, so then this outputs 5 heavy oil, and these use 10 each. So we actually need twice as many of these as we do these, if we want it to be properly ratioed, that is. So I guess, yeah, let's just make more of those then. Let's do that. Still just a laser getting chewed through. As long as it's lasers getting chewed through and not belts, I don't really care. That's what the drone system is for, to replace those. Alright, and then I guess we should have this be a little bit less weird and asymmetrical by having these go over this way. Now we have 4 of those. Now we have 8 of these and 4 of these, so it should be fine. And we paste the settings across. And what I should have done is just done like 2 to 1 and then copy pasted it a couple of times, but I guess we're doing this now in large scale all at once. Alright, so that one got offline. So there we go. That's all that stuff dealt with and sent off that way. Now we have those. And how are those two powered up? That power pole is apparently just barely close enough for them. Okay, now we hook all of these in to this line like that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, I did miss one over here. There we go. So that is plenty of that, and now we can just take all of that out into a single pipe. And okay, now we need to deal with these guys. Okay, how do we deal with them? I guess we could just make solid fuel and send it into a bunch of chests. It doesn't seem like the most elegant solution, but there should be some way of recycling it, but I don't know what that is. So let's... Probably gonna need a couple more of those. So let's just dismantle that stone. And then we get one of these guys in. And you are going to make solid fuel from light oil. So that uses 10. These produce 9 each. And we have 8, so that's 72 total. So we're going to need 8 of these to keep up. 5, 6, 7, 8. And yeah, at that rate, we're probably going to need even a couple more of them for the next row. And then we copy paste all of those across. And then, let's see, so the petroleum gas needs to go past again so that we can deal with it later. Like that. And we actually need to be a bit careful to leave space for the output. So the output belt is going to be like there, right? It's back to solid outputs again. Alright, so that does leave enough space. So then we have to do this. And then take them out to here. Like that. And, okay, that last one, I put it on the wrong one. Like that. Alright, so that can now connect all of these up and not get stuck on pipes. Then we send all of these pipes into that. Like that. Alright, so that is that dealt with. And then we just need to do basically the same thing again, but with the other recipe. So how much petroleum are we going to need? So we pop in a chemical plant, and this is going to be the last one, so we don't really need any extra space. And this is petroleum gas. It uses 20. This produces 11. So this is going to be 88. So we're going to need 5 of these. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then this goes along like that. And then we just copy paste that recipe across. And then let's actually get all these in, because I almost forgot to do that. And then Get all of these in. And then run this belt across. Like so. Alright. So now we have all of that. The only thing we have left is the storage. So we can just put this into a giant array of boxes. And then hopefully it'll just last long enough that, like, sure, eventually it'll all fill up and jam, but hopefully we'll have something to do with it by then. Alright, so that storage is basically what I'm doing with nuclear power. Alright, so that row is powered up. Now we have to run along and get this row. There we go. Then we get those machines. And then finally we go down to these machines. And there we go. Alright, that is all attached up. And our crude oil still hasn't arrived. Alright, so you are still filling up there. And using all of the crude oil production in the world to do it. And you are waiting there. And you are waiting there, which is fine. So the problem is, I guess, not enough crude oil? Because that thing is full. This is very slow, though. This is the main source of crude oil for the whole factory, so I guess it's not that surprising. Also, the biters got to a bunch of walls there. Poor walls. Can I put speed modules on to those from a distance? I'm pretty sure I have speed module Mark IIs somewhere. And hopefully that should speed that up and get this whole thing going faster. Although we should run down and check, actually, because the module production was something we just set up very recently. So we should stop down to make sure that it's working. And that path goes through that forest. You would never be able to tell that it exists, but it does. Alright. Now that's all connected up. That's sulfuric acid. Are these the modules? Yes, these are the modules. And what is going on here? Not enough red circuits. They're all backed up to there, and so we're not producing more of these. So we have plenty of these, whatchamacallit modules, efficiency modules, which I never use. And so we just need to check to see if something has gone horribly wrong with the red circuits. Alright, so one of them is filling up, the other one is waiting. So we head over here. Yeah, I think red circuit production remains not fast enough to keep up with all the stuff we need it for. And blue circuit production looks like it's going... Well, it looks like the train must have just left, right? Because even these ones are still filled up. Right, now the train is back, and it gets like 5 blue circuits. And you're one of the ones that's set to wait for 2 minutes. Alright. Red circuit production. Where are you, and what is the problem? Also, let's stop and allow these drones to catch up, otherwise they're going to be chasing me around for 15 minutes. There we go. I believe red circuit production is up here, sort of in this general direction. Alright, so if we go up here, this should be the red circuits, right? Right, and there's wire, there's green circuits, but there is no plastic. So, is this just an extension of that crude oil issue that we were having with the new production line? Where is plastic being made? Is that down here? Hang on, let's check. Yeah, it is. Alright, so plastic needs petroleum gas, which we do not have. Alright, so that... This is our petroleum gas production, which is also a short on crude oil. And the problem is fully that this is just very slow. Even with all those speed modules in. This is what? 4 a second, that's 13 a second. Alright, these are all random weird numbers. So I can't tell how much it is. But it's definitely not enough. So this set of pump jacks is pumping full time and also getting attacked by biters constantly. Now, if we head over here, this set is much slower, but is basically capped out. Is there any way we can, like, reasonably use that? Not really, because it's supplying oil to all sorts of stuff anyways. And it's not hooked up to the train network. So that is a combined yield of 521%. That's only 194%. That over there is a tiny amount. Alright, is there some giant oil field somewhere that we can use? Not that I can see at a quick scan. Not that I can see at a quick scan. Alright. That's annoying. Because how are we gonna do this? Because you are nowhere near full. You're like halfway and it's been ages. Yeah, I don't think it's that plastic specifically is the one consuming the oil. I think it's that the factory in general is consuming the oil and plastic just happens to be sort of receiving the short end of the stick on where the trains are going first. Because, like, if you have 100 oil production and your petroleum gas is using 150 and then your plastic is using another 10, but all the oil is going to try to fill the petroleum gas, then it doesn't matter that the plastic is only 10. It's doomed anyways. So I think... So we could just go exploring. We could just drive off into the wilderness to try to find something. But it's going to be, like, really far away. Unless it's just up here. That would be convenient. Let's just stick a radar down up on the north end of the factory. Because I don't think I have anything up there. Alright, we can take this hidden path through the woods. And then head over this way. So let's expand this path. And go around those cliffs, I guess. Alright, so now we are up here. Yeah, I think that's the problem. So let's just pop a radar down. And... Alright, what does the radar see? It sees a giant biter nest right over there that I was... Oh, right, I was in the middle of destroying that. Why are we making cubes with oil? We're not. We're making lubricant with oil. And then we have to do something with the other stuff that gets produced, otherwise it'll just back up. Because we need to be able to get the light oil and petroleum gas out of the way, otherwise all of this will back up and do nothing. And then our lubricant production will stop. So yeah, we don't actually particularly want the cubes. Alright, I guess those drones can repair those laser turrets. And then we're just gonna dismantle them. And then deal with this biter nest, because this whole corner is currently not defended at all. Alright, there we go. Those are being dealt with. That's good. So make petrol if that's low. The problem with that is that I could do that, and maybe I should, but I want to have my individual blocks be like single purpose. Like, I don't want to have a block create 6 different things. I want to have it to the greatest extent possible, just like a lubricant block and a petroleum block and all that stuff. So I guess I probably should, but it doesn't really matter anyway, since the fuel, since the crude oil is short anyways, like none of it's going there. Yeah, the using the laser turrets to wipe out biters is like the most useful thing ever. I don't know what I would do if I had to fight all those biters with like hopping into a tank and then driving around very carefully. It would be a nightmare. Alright, so that is going along. And we... Right, I was going to explore off in that direction to see if we could find any oil. So let's craft up... Let's see here, where do you make a car? Let's craft up a car. And go driving about, see if we can find something. There we go. And give you some solid fuel. And we're off. Alright, now I just need to not crash into a tree. I say as I immediately crash into a tree. Can I just bash my way through this forest? Get over to roughly even terrain. There we go. And we're driving. Alright. Is there any oil around here? Oh, that's not good. being chased by a gigantic swarm of biters is not the best time to run into a tree. Oh, there are more biters. Okay. They are everywhere. We're gonna strafe by that real quick. Alright, I found oil. I'm also about to die. There are rocks in front of me. Alright, get out of that and just run for it. Yeah, no, this is not ideal. Rip. Well. Alright, so we're gonna have to respawn, and we're gonna have to... Oh, we're gonna have to get a restock of all of our equipment. That's gonna suck. Alright. We're gonna have to head out there. We're gonna have to get out there to pick up, because some of the equipment I have is quite expensive. That's annoying. I probably should have been using a tank so I can just bust through trees faster. That would have been smarter. Alright. Well, I guess... So, turn that off. Add section. Call it respawn. Yeah, this feels like a job for a tank. So, do I even have tank auto-crafting? I'm pretty sure I don't, right? So I just need stuff to craft a tank. So I need those. And I need some of those. And I need steel. This would be a lot easier if I just had tanks automatically crafted, but I don't. Then I need 20 plastic. So let's get some of that in. And some engine units. So we get that in, and then I'm going to need... I really should just auto-craft tanks somewhere, but in the short term this will be fine. Alright. Let's turn that on so that these things can start coming. And then, what else am I going to need? I'm going to need ammo for it, so that I don't just die. So let's get some of those. And some... Actually set that to 200 probably, because the tank is going to need a lot. And then... Let's see here. Cannon shell. I think just regular cannon shell is the best still. And then gotta stand somewhere. Just gotta stand somewhere while this stuff gets supplied to me. Oh, and then I also need some solid fuel. I need some of that so that I can actually turn the tank on and drive it places. Alright. So we have some of the stuff, but we're still working on a lot of it. So there's a lot of stuff just randomly getting driven around. Might get some upgrades for tank speed and defense. Yeah, that's a thing, isn't it? I don't think I've ever messed with that. Tank. How do you upgrade a tank? I know you can do it, but I don't know how. I've never really messed around with tanks because I've just been placing laser turrets to deal with biters. Alright. We are getting there. Bit by bit. just a little bit of plastic, and then we can start crafting the tank. And where's the plastic? It's taken a while, isn't it? It is being brought, right? Oh, no, it's not. We are just fully out of plastic. Okay, that's a problem. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Oh. Now, of all time, some biters have gotten into some solar panels. Okay, it's fine. The solar panels they've gotten is like a single line that is right in front of some laser turrets, so that's not going to be an issue. Let's see. There's plastic down here. So I can just grab some of that stuff and start crafting the tank. Oh, exoskeletons can go into tanks. Neat. And laser defense too. Alright, yeah, we're gonna have to set up a whole thing for like preparing tanks for this purpose, because it's gonna take ages otherwise. Also, I shouldn't be manual crafting this stuff. I should be just picking it up. Let's start again with the green circuits, at least just manually grabbed. Now we only have to make the red circuits. Alright. Let's grab some batteries, since apparently those are going to be needed. And we're getting all sorts of stuff delivered to us again, which will be very helpful for us to lose if this goes wrong and we die again. Alright, exoskeleton needs blue circuits, which are also along this area, so let's grab some of those. And electrical engine units, which I could have sworn I had in this general vicinity as well for some purpose. I can't remember what. And I also might be wrong. Yeah, I think I was wrong. Alright. It's fine. We can head over this way. Alright. Electrical engine units are over here. And just stop by, grab them. Oh, that's a pipe. That's not good. So grab some of those. Grab some more of them. Apparently we simply just don't have that many electrical engine units, but it's fine. We have enough to craft that. Alright, what pipe is that they got into? Okay, in there. Must have just been a ranged attack that went over the wall. That's not an issue. Alright. Personal laser defense would require a lot of expensive stuff. You're doing everything by hand at 10 hours and you've barely used... That seems brutal. That seems like a lot of work. Alright, so let's see if we can get this. So we get tank. You get some solid fuel. And... How does this thing... How does the equipment grid work for this? Do you have to, like... is the trunk the equipment grid, or how do you do this? Because just putting that in there probably is not correct. Alright, how does this work? Could someone please explain? So I can at least fill that up. And... alright. There's gotta be some way of opening the equipment grid. Because with armor, you just right-click. But with this, that just picks it up. No, I don't want to put that in a trash slot. Alright. It's got to be after you place it, right? I don't know, we're just gonna try to do this then. It'd be nice if we could figure that out, but we're just gonna head out. We've got a bit of a journey. Okay, we do need to actually get around the wall there. So off we go. Now we drive up this way. This is one of the places that constantly gets attacked because of all of those biter nests. Alright, yeah, we can just slam through trees, no problem. Alright, now we need to... gosh, it would be nice if we could get a stealth tank. I really do not want to be fighting these guys if I don't need to. So we can sneak around there. And then maybe up through there. Yes, so far no significant aggro. If we just slip through these trees. Alright, no, they've spotted me. Okay, yeah, no, this is not gonna work. We need to lose the trail first. All right. Dismantle quickly. All right, we got probably most of it. And I should have loaded up with machine gun ammo as well. Yeah, this is just not practical for shooting off tiny little individual bugs. Alright, we're here. You get loaded up with a little bit more ammo. And did we grab the armor? No, we didn't. Yeah, I could do that, but it's kind of crummy ammo anyways. Alright, so now we should be clear. We can just go here and grab Power Armor Mark II. Why is this even still here? I could have sworn I threw that away ages ago. Alright, so then we can pick all the rest of that stuff up. And we're back. Alright, now we just have to make it back safely, which is gonna be a whole other thing. Okay, I do not love that nest being right there. Alright. Okay, yeah, no, Okay, that's not good. I'm stuck on a cliff. Alright, the tank shells are pretty good at getting them back. Keep up the exploration. Well, so first of all, I've already did spot one oil patch, and I've also gone pretty far away there to the point where it'd be annoying to get there. So I'm just going to go explore in this direction now, I think. Leave me alone. Alright, so now let's explore to the north a bit. See what's up there. Lots of biters is the answer, apparently. Just everywhere. Just biters everywhere. There's also all sorts of resources, and I ran into a cliff again. Oh, they've seen me. Alright, get them all in a nice line, and then... Oh, that's not good. Alright. Go up this way. And we're chilling. Okay, that's a... Some of these nests are gargantuan. We are just driving along, having a good old time exploring. This is much nicer than with the car. The car is a lot faster, obviously, but I'm not going to instantly die like this. Nukes required. Yeah, probably. I haven't unlocked the tech, but I have been doing the Covarex refining in the background for a while. Ooh, there's some more oil. That's fun. You guys go away. And obviously plenty of other stuff as well. Alright. There we go. So we've lost the tail for the time being. Now let's open the map, see if there's any like glaring spots that we missed. This is sort of like a peninsula type of thing, huh? So there's a bit of a gap over there, which I should probably just explore real quick. Don't want to head quite out this far just yet. All right, more biters are attacking. Oh boy. That's a problem. Apparently the acid stuff slows you down. And these biters are quite durable. Okay. Turn this way. Oh, I think I know why it didn't. Oh, I really hope the defenses back home are going to be able to keep up with all of this. Because I am just pulling every single biter's nest within 100 miles. Oh, I got stuck on a rock. I got stuck on a rock. Go away. We're going to die again. I was so close, too. I was on my way back. Alright. Turns out the most dangerous thing is not biters, it is in fact rocks. I almost was able to just get straight through the rock by driving over it, but almost is not quite good enough. Alright, so we are going to turn on respawn, turn off basics and crafting. We just have to stop by one more time. And we just gotta wait for the drones to bring all this stuff to us. Wait, why do I have 2,000 solid fuel in logistic storage? That's too much. Something has gone wrong there. I know I'm storing some of that, a lot of that stuff, but I don't think I'm supposed to be storing 2,000 of it. I guess technically, as long as it's not overproducing, it should be fine, but something has definitely gone wrong there. Alright, we did make it pretty close to getting back. And then the 2 crude oil patches we found are pretty good, too. So that should be nice. Once the supplies make it here, as long as we're careful to just not get stuck on any rocks in the future, we can do exploration like that pretty safely. However, we do have to wait for the drones every time. And we also need to manually pick up the plastic. Oh, am I just like standing in the one dead zone in the entire factory? Yeah, there's technically not good coverage up there. Alright, so we can find some plastic, grab you, and then we wait for the rest of the stuff to show up. And it is making its way, so we can also grab some of the green and red circuits to just speed it up even more. So we grab some of those, and then we have all the ammunition showing up. That's nice. Now we just need some more iron. How long does it last? I do not know. I think it might just be permanent. I don't know. I've also never had it go for more than a couple minutes. Alright. Then we need some of that too, and we need some gear wheels. Let's grab some of those. And some engine units, which coincidentally, this is the engine unit production, so let's just grab some of those and make our tank. And now we should have... We have the ammo we need. We're being given all these resources, which we don't really need. So now we have the tank, we have the ammo, we have the fuel. So let's just head up and recover our stuff. Alright, up we go. And then we just have to go up this way. We're just going to run through the factory and build our setup on the other side. It looks like at least blue circuits are not having any red circuit shortages, so that's nice. So up we go. And we are almost at the north end of the factory. You've died a lot, and it's nice that it gives you 10 free ammo. That is absolutely terrifying for the mod that you're playing, that 10 free ammo is something that's considered nice upon dying. Like, with how many hundreds of ammo I've just lost in boxes somewhere because I'm not paying attention. Your situation seems pretty desperate. Alright, so up we go. And through the forest. Okay, we immediately got stuck on a rock, which was basically impossible to see because it was inside of a forest. Alright, there are a bunch of biters in the vicinity, which we're going to need to either lure away or just otherwise deal with. Okay, I've managed to pull even more biters. That is the opposite of what I wanted to do. There are just so many biters around here. Maybe I can lose them in the trees. Alright, that seems to have at least partially worked. Bad news is that we don't have any repair drones or anything, which means that our tank isn't going to be repaired automatically. And we keep just pulling more biters when I'm trying to lose the ones that we're already fighting, and I'm going to die again. Alright. This is pretty terrible. I think I might just have to push up with laser turrets. Because, like, this clearly isn't working. Like, there's just too many biters up there to be able to stop for even just a short amount of time to grab your gear. Yeah, I think I just have to take it slow. Just get a set of regular equipment and then push up through the nests the way I would do normally. So fortunately I do have these boxes with my gear in them, so it should be one restock should be pretty quick. As long as I don't die again. See what happens with the corpses. I think they'll just stay there. Like, I'm not 100% on that, but I think they'll probably just stay. Alright, so we're getting our gear. We have the laser turrets. We have a whole bunch of stuff, which is just expensive stuff that will suck to lose if I die, which is not great, but it's too much work to sort it all out. And the big thing we're missing right now is the repair packs. I need the repair packs to be able to keep up with the destruction. 'Cause that's really what killed me last time. Oh, I also need... I'm going to need to recraft at least a set of, like, power armor basic version, because I need a modular... I need a personal drone port to be able to do this. So this is steel plates, processing units, and electric engine units. So yeah, this is going to be rough to restock. And, I mean, the whole reason I even want to pick up the corpses is so that I don't have to do this, but it seems like I'm going to. So, power armor, we don't need fancy stuff, we just need something with a drone port and some power. So let's start by crafting up some portable solar arrays. We're going to need those. Then we still need processing units and electrical engine units. So let's run down to grab those. The rest of it should be optional, but I need the drone port to be able to set the laser turrets. So we head down this way. Right. Since 2.0.7, corpses don't despawn. Alright, that is a relief. It's good to know. And it was 15 minutes before that. Alright, cool. So yeah, we have time, so I just gotta grab some of that stuff. And now I have to find some processing units, which I can't manual craft. Let's see, where's my nearest supply of those? Actually, I can just, if I can't manual craft them, I should probably just have a stack delivered to me. That's just going to be useful to have in general, because I do find myself needing them a fair amount of time. Alright, let's get a belt immunity equipment, and some batteries, and an exoskeleton. And then I'm going to need more batteries for a personal roboport. Let's see here, where... This is the giant belt of batteries. I knew that it existed somewhere. And then the personal roboport Mark II is going to be a nightmare to get, so we're just going to skip that. And then we've used all of our electrical engine units on that, so we have to go pick up more of those. And we do not have all that much, actually. Let's just get a box full of them. Oh no, you need to filter so that you don't do that. Where are they? There, so that should mean that we at least build up a stockpile of the things. And Power Armor Mark I is crafting. Now we currently do not have inventory space because I do not have any armor. So that is going to be an issue. Okay, but it just went straight into my gear. That's useful. So now we can pull you up, throw some of this stuff in, and hopefully the battery power will be enough for that. Might need to throw in more solar arrays. And then, yes, the max robots is only 10. That's going to be an issue. I think we actually do need that. I think we need the Roboport Mark II to be able to keep up. Like, we need to be able to construct these laser setups very quickly. There we go. Let's grab some more of those. So that should be the right amount of personal roboports. Then we need low density structures, which are somewhere around here. Let's see here. Where are my low density structures? I could have sworn they were up here somewhere. If I zoom out, I can't find them. If I zoom in, yeah, I was was almost sure they were right around here. They're apart in some science thing somewhere. Ah, yes, it's this belt here. So now we have one of those. We just need another 500 million. Alright, let's actually set up just a quick thing. So this will slow down science production to do this, but it'll be much more convenient for when I need these for manual crafting. So now half of them will go into that crate, and I'm going to set the crate to a single square of them, so that hopefully it doesn't take too long to fill up. And then we just have to grab all of these as they come through. And receive all sorts of stuff from further up. Where are they even crafted? They're crafted off of this. And it has speed module Mark 1s. Let's give them speed module Mark 2s. So that you can be just that little bit quicker. This is actually going to take ages, isn't it? I can, I guess, grab some plastic off of that belt and manual craft some, which is also going to take like a hilariously long amount of time. But you gotta do what you gotta do. So once we have the fancy roboport, we should be able to just crawl up towards the areas and then secure my loot, which is a lot of stuff. There's a whole lot of, you know, equipment and stuff in there that I need to grab. Like, we're almost at the point where it's just not worth going out there again. And we can just, like, rebuild, but we're not quite there. Alright, yeah, going up to Power Armor Mark II for this would be a mistake. It just requires so much more stuff in order to make. Alright, so let's grab that out so that we can have all the personal roboports necessary to craft the next tier 1 once it shows up. 2 structures left, 1 structure left. Almost there. Alright, we can now craft our personal roboport and DQ some of that and just directly craft this. Also, what is this? How has this happened? I'm just noting green circuits on this gear belt. How has that come to be? Oh, I see. Okay, so that's fine. We can fix that pretty easily. So I was just, at one point, relying on the green circuits being specifically on the right side of the belt and the gears on the left. And then I broke that at some point. So I just have to do that. And then then we're going to need to clear out some of these belts as well in order to make sure that the correct setup flows through. There we go. That should be... It's not quite, but now it should be good. Alright, what was I doing? Right, so now we can open that up, pop that Roboport in, and hopefully that is enough to be able to do this relatively efficiently. So the further north body doesn't really have anything good on it, so we can just ignore that one. We just have to get the further south one, which has all of my old gear. So we head up. And this is going to be quite the process, I think. So I really need to get that pipe off of the path. It's very much in the way. Alright, so we head up. And almost there. Alright. Now we are in this side of the map. We can prepare to push north. So we need to get through basically up to this stone patch. So we do actually have a pre-existing power line from previous biter clearing which goes over this way. So we just need to take this north a little bit. Okay, that was apparently too much. Alright, let's build a turret box here, just... Okay, no, this is not ideal, but it's going to be facing backwards. And, oh, I'm going to need to craft some power lines, because those are all done manually. Alright, so that can go like that. And then we'll have enough of these to do this. Alright, 7 and 8 should be enough. So we have this, which means that if we get into trouble, we can run back, which is always a useful thing to have. Alright, now we're here. And we can pop that in and get rid of some biters. And yeah, as expected, the poor construction drones are not having a good time with that, but we're just going to need to ask them to do a little bit more to clear out that nest. There we go. Alright. That's one nest dealt with. And we seem to be missing repair packs. Again. Alright, so now we have to dismantle all that because it's valuable. Alt D for packing up. Oh yeah, there is a hotkey for that. That's neat. I've just been clicking the button, which has worked fine, but So now we've obviously used up a whole bunch of stuff. We have construction bots. We have 11 repair packs. How far do we need to go? This nest is going to be brutal to get through. Just pop that in, I guess. Good luck. Alright. So that is set up. Now we push up to the top of the cliff like that. No, apparently not. It's just not placing it there. Can drones not go up cliffs? Figured they could. Let's get through that. No, or did I just lose? No, I have drones. Oh, did I run out of power? I might have run out of power. Yeah. Personal Roboport does not have enough power. Let's throw more solar panels in. And make sure that it's all powered up again. Yeah, that's the problem, because I'm using this weird, janky setup, and I didn't put enough solar panels or whatever in. Alright, so we get that in. And then we just need to not die to this one biter that's attacking us. Okay. That was ridiculously close. But we are now getting in to that. And then we just put another one in the middle there. And that should get rid of most of them, and then we're probably going to have to inch one little bit further to get rid of these last couple. Although maybe... yeah, we're just going to have to go a little bit further forwards with like one power line. There we go. Yep, the walls are cheap. The turrets are expensive, so I'd much rather, if any amount of damage can go to a wall rather than a turret, I think that's just better. Alright, now we're gonna have to dismantle all of this, and let's see, hopefully we don't have to get that much further. Like, there's only, we might be able to get it done with just one more demolition. Alright, so we just have to be a bit sneaky. Head around this way where it should be relatively clear. And then get up here. Alright, the corpse is there. However, there is a bunch of guys right next to it. Yeah, I'm going to be leaving the medium power poles, but the big power poles I still haven't gotten around to manual crafting, to auto crafting, so there we go. So that is in. And I don't even really need to destroy that nest. I just need some cover so that I know I won't get jumped while I do this. So grab all that. And apparently they're getting chewed up. Alright, swap to that armor. And then Pop that a little bit forwards. Might as well get rid of the nest while we're here. And pick up as much of this stuff as I can. Alright, there's just that one. Alright. So we cleared that out. And now we're going to have to deal with just picking up all the gear. Yeah, use of trash slots. They're currently being used. What I can do is did I lose both of those tanks? I just want I had like a spare tank lying around somewhere that I could use for this. Apparently not. Alright, well, let's see, what's the valuable stuff here? I guess I could grab some of those, and they're just immediately all going to get used repairing those turrets, which is fine. Alright, the modules are valuable. Yeah, the corpses are apparently pretty good for storage. Grab some more laser turrets. And some more laser turrets. Some of this stuff. And I guess we're going to have to make a couple trips. This should be relatively secure now. At least as far as just like casually walking through it is concerned. So let's just build a random path. And we can just get within drone range, get some of these trash slot items picked up, and then we can go from there. Alright, we are within drone range. And let me guess, there are a billion logistics drones heading towards me right now. But where are they? I need to get close enough to them that they can actually take my stuff away. Let's see, where is it's hard to tell which ones are heading for me. Now that they stick around, they're actually pretty useful. Yeah, that's funny to think about. You can, like, just die in strategic places to have basically a free chest. Alright. These drones that are passing overhead are apparently not the correct ones. Alright, here are some drones that can take this stuff away for me. And I'm still getting stuff delivered, even with all of this. Yeah, hey, if it works, it works. Although obviously it's not going to be quite as useful because it's not connected to logistics or anything, but you know, if it's what you gotta do, it's what you gotta do. Alright. So now we are successfully unloading some of this junk. There we go. Yeah, just standing in the middle of a gigantic cloud of drones is always, like, the most cool thing possible. And hopefully this will clear up enough slots. You wish you had logistics. Yeah, your game seems brutal. Like, the logistics are so convenient. It's just, it would be rough to be stuck in the Stone Age for so long. Alright, so trash slots are just about emptied out. And then what else in here? I don't need that sulfur, for example. I can get rid of that. And as valuable as they are, I don't think I need low density structures either. I don't need one of them anyways. Found a new use case for barrels. Oh, barrels are a thing that exists. I don't think I've ever used them. Use them to carry the oil you found on a scouting mission. Yeah, I guess that's something that you could do. Alright. So this is all good. And this is my real armor, right? I should probably be upgrading this more anyways, but it should be fine at least. I can get rid of those. And then we just head up to grab the rest of the stuff. So up we go. And I built a path, right? It's just over here. This should speed up heading up there a lot. Up we go. And then we should be able to get there pretty easily. I wonder if this random little turret box is going to be under attack constantly. Probably is. Alright, we're here now. We can grab the rest of that. And how is there just so much stuff in this? Like, sure, more portable solar. I guess I can toss that in the equipment grid. And just keep doing that until eventually all of my trash slots fill up. Alright. So what is left? The radars are valuable. Submachine gun isn't valuable, but it's convenient. Let's grab some ammo, some engine units. I mean, most of this stuff is just like random junk. I guess I will put it in a box. So we can throw away some of that, pick up some of this, and just continue filling up that box so that it's in a box and not a corpse. What difference does it make? Who knows, but it'll be nice to have. Alright. Corpse is removed. So now, I guess we could make that a... Technically we could bring drone coverage up here and deal with that, but we're just gonna head back south and go back to what we were worrying about, which is the oil supply. Although it's actually been quite a while, so I wouldn't be surprised if some oil has just built up. Like, because theoretically, things will stop producing when they're full, and then we won't have to worry about that again. Alright, still no oil has made it all the way up here. Are they still just... Yeah, now they're all backed up waiting at the crude oil production. So we are definitely going to need to... Let's see, we got up to there. If we go a little... It's a lot further for more oil. But it is like literally 3 times as much oil as we have currently. So it's probably going to be worth it. And also I should probably... I don't know if this is necessary, but let's get some new storage chests down just in case... Just in case the sheer amount of junk that I've been throwing into the trash slots is going to fill stuff up. We're just going to stand here and let some stuff get cleared out. And then we can go back to worrying about our oil supply and what's going wrong with it. Where is it all being used for even? I have no idea. Alright. Almost there. The drones are making their way towards me, which should mean we're just about to get all this stuff out of here. You can see the inventory is slowly getting a couple more free spaces. Sure is taking a while. Alright. There we go. Now the trash slots are actually starting to empty as opposed to just getting replaced with other trash slots. And then we're going to have to deal with... Yeah, this blueprint doesn't need to exist. Didn't work. Alright. Almost done. Almost done clearing out the trash slots, and we have 2 pieces of power armor. Actually, I can yoink that roboport from that and throw it into this, and then that's just a lot better. So solar panel power is 810 kilowatts. The roboports could theoretically use a lot more than that, but hopefully they just won't do that. Alright, the fighters are still chipping away at random laser turrets, as they tend to do. How do I even have 10 gun turrets on me? When did that happen? I don't use those anymore, and I haven't requested them in ages. I must have picked them up off of a belt at some point. Alright. So that is all done, and now back to worrying about oil. So the oil should be mostly going to petroleum production. Yeah, so we have our plastic production here, and it's not getting anything done. Actually, there was at some point like coal liquefaction or something that you could use to get more crude oil. That might be convenient. I might be able to get another coal patch more easily than another oil patch, even if it is temporary. Alright. So we just need to head over this way. This is the petroleum gas. And yeah, this train has just stopped by and it's already... Yes, this train, there's nothing here for it. Nothing here for it at all. This isn't limited by anything in particular. It's just because these are slow. Yeah, I remember when this was a significant improvement in my crude oil production. And now we have a 3-train long waiting line. And this one isn't even, like, close. It feels like something's got to be going wrong with that. Like, there's no way. Right, there's... How is this so bad? Even with speed modules. It's just so terrible. Alright. So yeah, I guess we are going to need to push... Let's see, that's 1,200, and it's probably just a lot more work. That's 1,900, and these nests all seem a bit smaller, at least. So I guess that's going to be our plan, is we are going to try to get a train out to that oil, which is pretty likely to result in my death, but I'm going to be doing it the slow and cautious way as usual. Also, it seems like the repair packs have been running low. Let's set that up to 200. It also seems like maybe they aren't getting produced fast enough. Let's see here. I know I'm not producing a huge amount of repair packs. It's just like one thing here, and it's not getting any gears. How is this short on gears? Scroll over this way to see our gear production, and they are all output full. So it must have gotten disconnected somewhere. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a shortage. Alright, it looks like the gear line goes all the way through. So, oh, it's this problem again. Right. So we're going to have to head down there to fix that, because that is just going to be an issue which is eventually going to cause our entire factory to blow up when the biters destroy stuff that can't get repaired because we don't have repair packs. So we're going to have to head down and make sure that the green circuits don't do what they're doing. So down we go. And let's see here. The actual belt is a bit beneath us. And then we have all of this. So these are the green circuits. They're producing along and coming over this way. Alright. So we need to set this up again. So this twists out that way. Then we have like that. And then like that. Now we can drain that. And we are once again making fresh repair packs. That's a relief. And let's see, does this have any other useful stuff in it? I wonder if I can actually like stack those. Be handy if I could. Oh, you can, I think. Well, that's good to know. I figured it was a one and done thing, but if you could stack them, then I might just throw a bunch of them in. Alright, so repair packs are repairing, and this no longer really has anything of particular interest. So I can throw both of those away. And should be good to go. Now, what was I doing before this? Oh right, I was gonna be expanding out towards the whatchamacallit, expanding out towards the oil. We're gonna need so much. We're gonna need so much oil in order to keep up, apparently. And the thing is, like, we probably don't even need that much more. We just, like, it'll probably be enough, because we had enough that it was running for a long time, presumably just like on stockpiles that it had spare. So hopefully this will just be pretty quick. And then artillery research is up to almost 30%, which is nice. If we can get further to that, it would be great. Alright, so first of all, before we do anything else, we need to have a bit of a wall here. It doesn't need to, don't need to go crazy with it. It doesn't need to be especially long, just, you know, enough that if we need to run back, all the way to here, which hopefully we won't, but the entire factory won't be in danger. So we have that. Now, we need to get out there pretty much just straight through biter territory. I wonder if this is a job for flamethrowers. No, flamethrower ammo requires steel plates and crude oil, so we can't just power it completely off of the local stuff. Alright. We are going to grab a train track and send it over this way. And then, let's see, the other train track would be like, because I want this to line up at some point. It's gonna be these two, because at some point this is gonna, like, our actual just factory is gonna expand over this way. And then we're going to want this to all be aligned to the grid properly. At least for as long as we can make it. Alright, so that is at least the start of that track. Then we need to bring power out here, because there is a biter nest right in front of us. So that goes a bit further forwards. And then, let's see here. How far can we push? Alright, we can push it up to there and still be connected, so let's do that. And then try to stay far enough away that the drones won't get themselves killed. Alright. So that is that nest dealt with. Once I just run forwards and shoot this one. And I'm just about within range of those turrets, so it's fine. Alright. So we have that. And I think we might actually just... we might just leave that in place. Again, just to have a good fallback point, and hopefully it'll also just disrupt any biters that come along this way. Although, actually, I need to make sure that it doesn't cause problems for the trains. So yeah, that line goes all the way out there. And then we have this line, which is also just going to have to go all the way out there. And at some point we'll be far enough away that I won't have to worry about keeping it aligned properly. Let's tear down these so that we can reuse them. Alright, so then all of those tracks go in. Then it would be really cool if we could just sneak through these next couple, because they're not like directly on the line, but I think that's probably going to be a bit ambitious. They're close enough to the train line that I should get rid of them. Alright, so that can go down to there. And then pop the turret box in like that. And why is it not powered? Why is it not connected? Oh. Okay. Please hurry. Get those in. Alright, and whatever remains of the turret box might be able to fight back now. You just kind of have to rebuild the entire thing from scratch, basically. That was awkward. It's hard to tell that a power line isn't connected properly when there isn't anything attached to it. Alright, that one little laser pointer is gonna get rid of that. There we go. And then we can take down all that stuff. And keep going. It's quite a ways. It's quite a ways away. We're gonna have to stop back for a resupply at some point soon. And we're not even like a significant portion of the way there. But we are making good progress at least. So that all goes in. And alright. So now we have these couple of nests up north. And how's our repair pack supplies? Doing fine. Alright, so let's get up to there. And then turret box. Alright. And just gotta stay in cover here by the lasers. Okay, this one worm is out of range of the others. So we're just gonna do that manually real quick to deal with them. It's a lot faster than shooting it with a machine gun. Alright, then we can reclaim all of that. And oh, that was a bit premature, wasn't it? Okay, so yeah, we need to retreat. And just build a turret box just anywhere. Alright. So yeah, I probably shouldn't have dismantled that other turret box, because that's wasted a bit of time. And yeah, we definitely need to get rid of that biter nest up north. Also, they ate a power line at random. That's mean. Alright, so then we need you to go up there. And in like that. So there we go. Another nest dealt with. And the immediate north side of the train line is now safe. So we can dismantle all of that and just leave those power lines there. And we don't have that many train tracks in our inventory, so we are going to have to... We're going to have to call it a day here soon and return back to resupply, but we are making good progress. We're like halfway there-ish. Yeah, we're down to 13 railroads, so we're going to have to head back now and start running a path so that future expeditions out this way can be quicker. Get rid of some of those random walls. And then we go back this way and run out of paths. Alright, so now we're back in the base, and I think we're probably going to wrap up pretty shortly here. Just want to grab my resupply so that when I start up next time, I don't head out thinking I have a whole bunch of stuff and then have nothing and then immediately have horrible things happen. So where is one of those buffer chests going to be? Actually, I'm pretty sure the problem is the buffer chest, the problem is the drones. The drones are mostly all down in that area for some reason. These guys look like they might be making their way towards me, or just coincidentally past me. Alright, we're just gonna chill here for a bit until that resupply happens. Actually, may as well stand directly by one of these. Alright, so there are a whole bunch of them that are going to be picking up just trash slots. And then we have our supplies incoming now. So it shouldn't be too long. We don't need that much in terms of sheer quantity of a resupply. We just need a lot of different things. It looks like the repair pack production has been able to catch up. That's a relief. Now, okay, there's one last thing I'll check before the end of the stream, is that artillery has been at 28% for ages. Which makes me think that I've unintentionally broken something and we aren't making any progress. Like, it's slow, but it shouldn't be that slow. Okay, a gun turret got destroyed. That's a little bit worrying. Gun turrets are obviously areas that I'm not expecting to be attacked because I haven't had to upgrade them in ages. Alright, just about done. Need some more railways and paths. So we can head back south and investigate the science situation. Alright, so down we go. And gosh, these paths are nice. Being able to just run along a path is so much nicer than having to go places manually. Though it does make it a little bit annoying when there's like a slight disruption on the path. Okay, so this is this side of the bus. We have to head over here. And it is yellow science that's short. We have what looks like every other type. And yellow science is actually working. It's short on blue... Yeah, it's short on blue packs. So... let's see here. I mean, we just have this one assembly machine, which is making the blue packs, and it's productivity module 1s. But you have plenty of supplies. So I think we actually speed module 2. More drones are getting themselves killed somehow. And I wonder if this is going to need to be a fast inserter now in order to keep up. Maybe that's a bit optimistic, but it's not going to hurt anything at least. Now everything is just going into this passive provider chest and then vanishing, as opposed to going to the yellow science. So that's the problem. But I do have... Yeah, let's get a requester chest in here. There you go. And you are going to be requesting blue circuits. And that will get science working again, and this is a little bit silly, but whatever. And then I should also try to make sure that the blue circuit production up north is connected. Actually, I should be able to just... Let's see, which one of those? That's these ones. Do you have passive provider chests? You do. However, they are super low priority. That's fine. As long as it's technically connected, I'm not going to worry too much about it. Alright, so now I think it's about time to wrap up the stream. I'm just going to walk up to the north so that I remember what I was doing when we ended, which is doing this train out to the oil. So I'm going to just head up there and wrap up the stream. Thanks everyone for hanging out. Had a lot of fun chatting with you guys. Let's see, I will be playing Factorio again on Thursday. So if you're interested in that, make sure to stop by Thursday from 2 to 5 Eastern Time as usual. Otherwise, I'll be playing Satisfactory tomorrow, same time. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks for hanging out. Make sure to follow if you haven't already so you know when I'm live. And that's about it. Thanks for hanging out, and I will see you guys next time.